On August 30th, 1984, Cameroon Airlines Flight 786, a Boeing 737-287C, was involved in a tragic incident that resulted in the loss of 2 lives. The aircraft, registered as TJCBE, was operating a scheduled domestic flight from Yaoundé to Douala, 2 of Cameroon's major cities. The flight was a routine part of the airline's operations, carrying 114 passengers and a crew of 2, totaling 116 souls on board. The Boeing 737-287C, a variant of the popular 737-200 series, was a workhorse for many airlines during that era, known for its reliability and versatility in both passenger and cargo configurations. This particular aircraft was equipped with Pratt & Whitney JT8D engines, a common choice for the 737-200 series, and had been in service with Cameroon Airlines since its delivery in 1980. The day of the incident began like any other, with the aircraft completing earlier flights without any reported issues. The weather in Yaoundé at the time of departure was typical for the region, with no significant meteorological concerns that would have raised alarms. The flight crew, consisting of an experienced captain and a first officer, conducted their pre-flight checks and boarded the passengers without incident. The takeoff from Yaoundé Nsimalan International Airport was uneventful, and the aircraft climbed to its cruising altitude without any apparent difficulties. The en route phase of the flight proceeded normally, with air traffic control maintaining standard communications with the crew. As the aircraft approached Douala, the crew began preparations for landing. Douala International Airport, the largest and busiest airport in Cameroon, was equipped with the necessary navigational aids to support instrument approaches, and the weather at the time was reported as favorable, with good visibility and no significant turbulence. The crew contacted Douala Tower, received clearance for their approach, and configured the aircraft for landing. However, as the Boeing 737 descended toward the runway, something went terribly wrong. Eyewitnesses on the ground reported seeing the aircraft approach at what appeared to be a higher-than-normal speed. Some accounts suggested that the aircraft may have been unstable during the final stages of the approach, possibly due to a combination of factors such as wind shear, pilot error, or mechanical issues. As the aircraft touched down, it became evident that the landing was not proceeding as intended. The exact sequence of events remains unclear due to limited documentation, but it is believed that the aircraft either bounced heavily or experienced a runway excursion, leading to a loss of control. The Boeing 737 veered off the runway, causing significant damage to the landing gear and fuselage. The violent motion of the aircraft as it skidded off the pavement likely caused injuries among the passengers and crew. Emergency services were immediately dispatched to the scene, but despite their rapid response, 2 individuals, 1 passenger and 1 crew member, lost their lives in the incident. The remaining 114 passengers and crew survived, though some sustained injuries of varying severity. The survivors were evacuated quickly, and the airport authorities initiated an emergency response protocol to secure the area and provide medical assistance. The aftermath of the incident saw an investigation launched by Cameroonian aviation authorities, with support from Boeing and international aviation safety organizations. The primary focus of the investigation was to determine the root cause of the accident, whether it was due to human factors, mechanical failure, or environmental conditions. However, detailed findings from the investigation have not been widely disseminated, and the final report remains difficult to access, a common issue with aviation incidents in certain regions during that era. One of the challenges in reconstructing the events of that day is the scarcity of first-hand accounts or official documentation. Unlike major aviation disasters that attract extensive media coverage and thorough investigative reports, this incident, while tragic, did not result in a high number of fatalities. which may have contributed to the limited public record. Additionally, aviation safety protocols and data recording in the 1980s were not as advanced as they are today, making it harder to piece together precise details. The Boeing 737-200 series, while generally reliable, had been involved in several accidents during its operational history, many of which were attributed to pilot error, mechanical failures, or environmental factors such as wind shear. The aircraft's design, particularly its older analog systems, required a high level of manual input from pilots, leaving room for human error during critical phases of flight, like landing. In the case of Cameroon Airlines Flight 786, it is possible that a combination of factors, such as an unstable approach, misjudged speed, or sudden wind changes, contributed to the hard landing and subsequent runway excursion. The two fatalities, while a relatively small number compared to other aviation disasters, were nonetheless a stark reminder of the inherent risks of air travel, even on short domestic flights. The passenger who lost their life may have been seated in an area of the aircraft that sustained direct impact during the excursion, while the crew member's death could have been the result of trauma during the violent deceleration. The survival of the majority of those on board suggests that the aircraft's structure remained largely intact, preventing a more catastrophic outcome. In the weeks and months following the incident, Cameroon Airlines likely conducted internal reviews of their operational procedures, crew training, and maintenance protocols to prevent future occurrences. The airline, which served as Cameroon's flag carrier until its dissolution in 2008, operated a fleet that included several Boeing 737s, and this incident would have been a significant event in its safety record. However, without access to the airline's internal reports, it is difficult to ascertain what specific changes, if any, were implemented as a result. The Douala International Airport, where the incident occurred, is situated in a coastal region, prone to humid and sometimes turbulent weather conditions. While no extreme weather was reported at the time of the accident, microclimates and sudden wind shifts are not uncommon in the area, which could have played a role in destabilizing the aircraft during its final approach. Runway conditions, including surface friction and the presence of debris, might also have been contributing factors, though again, the lack of detailed investigation records makes this speculative. Aviation safety has come a long way since 1984, with significant advancements in technology, training, and regulatory oversight. Modern aircraft are equipped with enhanced systems like ground proximity warning systems, GPWS, automated throttle controls, and advanced weather radar, all of which help mitigate the risks that were more prevalent in the 1980s. Pilot training has also evolved, with greater emphasis on simulator-based scenarios that replicate unstable approaches, wind shear, and other hazardous conditions. The Cameroon Airlines Boeing 737 incident remains a relatively obscure event in aviation history, overshadowed by more catastrophic accidents that occurred around the same time. However, for the families of the two individuals who lost their lives, and for the survivors who experienced the trauma of that day, it was a life-altering event. The lack of extensive documentation or public commemoration does not diminish the significance of the incident for those affected. In the broader context of aviation safety, every accident, whether large or small, serves as a lesson. The limited details available about this particular event underscore the importance of thorough investigations, transparent reporting, and the continuous improvement of safety protocols. While the aviation industry has made tremendous strides in reducing accidents, the goal of zero fatalities remains elusive, and each incident provides valuable data to help move closer to that ideal. The Boeing 737-2H-7C involved in the accident was likely repaired and returned to service, as was common with aircraft that sustained damage but were not deemed beyond economic repair. The 737-200 series, despite its age, continued to fly for decades in various parts of the world, a testament to its rugged design and adaptability. Cameroon Airlines itself continued operations for many years, though it faced financial and operational challenges that eventually led to its closure. For those interested in aviation history, the story of this incident serves as a reminder of the fragility of life and the complex interplay of factors that ensure safe air travel. It also highlights the gaps in historical records that can make it difficult to fully understand past events. While major disasters like Tenerife or Lockerbie are extensively documented, smaller incidents like this one often fade into obscurity, leaving only fragments of information for future generations to piece together. The 2 lives lost on that day in 1984 are a somber footnote in the history of aviation, but their memory underscores the importance of vigilance, training, and technological advancement in making air travel safer for all. The lessons learned from each incident, no matter how minor it may seem in the grand scheme, contribute to the ongoing effort to prevent future tragedies. In conclusion, while the Cameroon Airlines Boeing 737 incident of August 30th, 1984, may not be widely remembered, it remains a part of the intricate tapestry of aviation history. The limited details available serve as a reminder of the importance of preserving and learning from every event, no matter how small, to ensure that the skies remain as safe as possible for future travelers. The 2 individuals who lost their lives that day are a poignant reminder of the human cost of aviation accidents, and their memory lives on in the continuous pursuit of safer air travel for all.